It is a very snowy time over here. I wanted to share some of the stuff I've learned. I'm basically being like a guinea pig for all of you. Hold on, let me turn this fan off real quick to sound better. So basically, I've tried out a bunch of things. I've been a guinea pig. I've gone through years of hatred and years of depending on different things, being addicted to small things, but still things I needed: caffeine, smoking weed, different things like that. I tried blaming everyone else for my issues except myself. I was stuck in a victim mindset. And I've been in therapy and coaching the last 4 years, and it takes a lot of work, time, and money. So this is what I've learned over investing in myself, and all good coaches do invest in themselves. So this is what I've learned getting help for all the things that I felt that were lacking in my life. This is what I've learned. Is that I've tried hatred, I've tried addiction, I've tried blaming everyone else except myself. I was stuck in a victim mindset. The first thing I learned is that you have to appreciate what's going your way, and you can't be offended when life isn't going your way. Gratitude in the midst of adversity is the key to keeping yourself ready to receive a breakthrough. So the universe, God, is looking even when things don't go your way. When you stub your toe, are you going to use a curse word and be upset? Or are you going to be like, ouch, and move on? Because that reaction, your reaction, if you let it affect you, if you let the outside world affect you, then you lose control. So there are going to be things every day that don't go your way, even if 95% is. And that 5% can ruin your entire day. Or even 1%, it can poison your entire day. So gratitude in the midst of adversity. That's what keeps your house ready, and that's what keeps yourself ready for a breakthrough. And it's not something that's in your control, and it's not coming on your timeline. It's just your job to put the work in. Number 2, stubbornly cling to the faith. Whatever faith it is, faith in the law of attraction, that it is real, faith in God, faith in the universe wanting you to be happy, whatever you want to call it, you have to stubbornly cling to your faith. And everyone from the Bible, which is what I read a lot of, but everyone in the Bible and a lot of people from history who invented things, discovered things, made things happen, they kept their faith even when there was no answer immediately there for them. Okay? So there's not always going to be a direct answer, a direct next step. That's when you retreat into yourself, into silence, into exercise, into prayer, and pray that those answers come. Meditate that those answers come. If you don't pray, you can meditate. There's many ways of getting there. You have to find what works for you, friends. You have to find what works for you. But stubbornly cling to the faith. And even at times where there's no answer at hand and you're stubborn and it's not coming on your timeline, that's when it counts the most. You have to believe that it's coming and that you deserve it and that the universe wants you to be happy. You have to believe that what you want is already on its way, that you already basically have it. So thanking the universe, thanking God in advance for what you're getting. And number 3, attitude is everything. What energy you're putting out, that's what you're going to get back. And I've learned this the hard way so many times. It doesn't matter what you're doing on the outside, what nice things you're doing for people at work or your spouse or whatever. If you're doing it with a sour face and if you're doing it without actual giving in your heart, you're doing it reluctantly and you're doing it because you want to get something out of them, they're going to be able to tell. The universe is going to tell, and you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it back. So your attitude is everything. You're going to get out what you put out. And number 4, what you do, what you run into, whether it's good or bad, you have to be content. You have to be content with what you have. And there's people without enough food to eat out there. There's people without limbs. There's people that are freezing to death in this winter time right now. There's always some people that's going to be better off and worse off than you are. So accepting where you're at opens your door, empties your cup, puts the old out so you can receive the new. So unless you're clean, your cup is clean and empty, and your house is clean and ready to receive, you will not receive what's coming to you. And it's a sad fact that if you're double-minded on these matters, if you go through all the actions, you do the affirmations, you do the prayer, you do the meditation, you do the right action, but you don't truly have faith that the universe wants you to be happy and that God is going to give it to you, and God already has it on the way, you will not get it. It will not come. You will just keep on waiting and keep on thinking you can get it through your own striving, and you will end up striving and striving and striving until you're so tired that you just give in, and then eventually you'll get it. It's just up to you how long, whether you want to accept that God has your back and that your desires that are meant for you are coming to you. Do not have important conversations with your loved ones when you're in a state of anger. No matter what. That's what I learned. You might think that you're better than that. You might think your emotional intelligence is better than that. You might think that you're smarter than that and you have more self-control. You're not. Even if you keep your tone low, even if you're not going to say the right things, you're not going to come from the right place. It always works to take at least 10 minutes to go and do some breathing and cool down, or sleep on it before responding to someone. You don't have to respond. Silence is often more powerful, people. Silence is often more powerful. If you don't respond to their bullcrap, then half the time they're going to wonder why, and they'll replay it in their head a million times and realize how much of an ass they've been, and they will change their behavior. Silence is for the win. If you're not sure what to say, silence for the win. I've been caught up with that. When I was acting an ass, when people gave me the silent treatment, it just got me more pissed off and I acted even more of an ass and dug my own grave. So I learned that one the hard way. When you don't have anything nice to say, when you're in a bad mood, keep your mouth shut when you're in a bad mood. I promise, it will save you so many tears. It will save you so many tears. I've cried so many tears because I couldn't keep my mouth shut when I was pissed off. And I mouthed off to the wrong people and screwed up the wrong situations. And I've even lost jobs over it. So I don't want you to cry those tears. If you don't have anything nice to say, keep your mouth shut. What you put out comes back to you. Let's see what's next. Number 6. The last word is not a win. The last word is not a win. You might think that, oh, I'm better. I have the louder voice, so I said the last word. I shat all over them. I made them look weak. But no, you look weak. The last word, putting your smart comment, especially if it's to a loved one, someone you care about. If you do anything with contempt, even in anger, even if it's true, even if they deserve it, even if they deserve every last bit of it and they need to be told. If you do not do your criticism in a constructive way, and if you do it with contempt, that is destructive to the relationship. Another thing I personally learned from trying it out both ways. So do not speak to anyone in contempt. And the last word is not a win, it's a temporary pleasure. It is a pleasure of the flesh. Number 7, take your power back from those who you envy or who have done you wrong. Take your power back from the people you envy and those who did you wrong. You know how you do that? You pray for God, not you. You pray for God to bless them. And you pray that they find what they're looking for. And you pray for forgiveness for your judgment of them. And your forgiveness for your hatred. And that you spent time and your precious brain power hating them and envying them. And ask God for forgiveness for your envy. And ask God that the people who you envy and the people who you hate and your enemies, that they find what they're looking for. And that there's peace between you and that they find what they're looking for. Even if there's someone who you can't have in your life, they're toxic and they did you a lot of wrong, you still must forgive. You must forgive. Forgiveness is power. When you forgive, you take your power back from those who you envy or who've done you wrong. Even those who've cheated on you, who've done the worst sort of things. You take your power back when you forgive and you pray that they find what they're looking for and for God to bless them. And for them to find peace. The same peace we're all looking for on this earth. Number 8. There's things that are carried in the bloodline. For me, I come from 2 bloodlines. One of Catholic priests and bishops in the Catholic Church, and Brahmins. My dad's side, they were Brahmins, so they were people who did ceremonies in the temple. So both spiritual healers and people who coach people. And I tried all sorts of different jobs, technical jobs, other things. And I did all right, but I was miserable and I never succeeded. And now I knew what's right for me. So you look back, go to Ancestry.com, look at what your ancestors did. Look at what your ancestors did. You carry their blood, you carry their DNA. There might be something to consider. And never throw out, yes, when I believe a bunch of people move to a different place. And when you move somewhere, you should kind of assimilate to the culture and take on the customs, of course. And assimilate to whatever culture you're in. But you should not give up, I especially believe, the religious rituals of your ancestors. Even if you don't really believe, there's something to those rituals. And this is not through science. This is just something that I believe through my own practice of going to church versus not. Even though I can get more spiritual knowledge and stuff on my own with my computer. And I think I like other preachers better than Catholic preachers. I still go to the Catholic Church. I still go for pilgrimages to holy sites here in Maryland. There's quite a few. I still do it, and I still get a lot of benefit in many ways from it. And my ancestors did that for hundreds of years. I think even a long time. So, that's what my ancestors did. That's what worked for them, and they got many miracles. That's what got my grandmother here to America, is her prayer and the power of her thoughts and her thinking it up first, praying for it, writing it down, believing it. That's generally how it works. So, whatever your successful ancestors did, you carry the same blood. So that might be something to consider. So, the most powerful thing I said today would be to forgive. Forgive those who did you wrong, and ask God to bless those who you envy, because even if they have more than you, you don't know what it takes to be someone with a lot. Not everyone was born into it. You don't know what it takes to be the type of person that is and what kind of trauma they have to go through. We are all shaped by our trauma. Steel is forged by fire. Okay? We're all forged by our trauma. So whoever has something, they paid a price to get that. So don't envy anyone, because you don't want to pay the price that someone else had to pay to get to where they are. You don't want to have to pay You don't want to have to pay that price. God made each one of us intricately. Each one of us, none of us is a mistake. So you are double guessing God, and that is insulting to God when you want someone else's life. You be happy with what God gave you and make the best out of that. And don't overlook the opportunities that are coming your way, folks. Don't do it. So I'm just trying to share some spiritual knowledge I've learned over the last 4 years, struggling with different things. And I care about you. And I don't want you guys to have to make the same mistakes. So that's why I'm doing this. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. And I have more coming. You all stay safe and have a great day. God bless you.